Let's talk about it. As a former correction sergeant, I am a lot more than a former correction sergeant, but let's focus on my career in corrections. That was the last job I ever held before I stopped working permanently at the age of 39. But let's get into this. As a former corrections sergeant and former corrections officer, this is 100% facts. Statistically, these women, these single mothers, are going to put their kids in prison because you're not disciplining your children. You're not teaching them right from wrong. They feel like they can mouth off to any adult, and this is the end result because no one is holding them accountable. And all of a sudden, they're going to go off on the wrong person. Then they're going to get arrested. And that's when the troubles are going to start because as soon as they start getting arrested, felony charges, they're not going to be able to rent properly. With felonies, you can't even get credit cards, you can't get an apartment, you can't get a job, so you couldn't even get a house, so you can't get a job, you can't get apartments, you can't get credit cards. Without credit, there goes financing a decent vehicle, and your entire life just goes to complete and utter crap because of a felony or multiple felonies. And the more felonies you get, the worse this crap gets. And this is the whole reason it's so easy to stay out of trouble. This is the whole reason I stay in my house and play video games the entire time. Why do you think I don't go outside? Why do you think I don't have friends on purpose? I have a wife. That is all I need. That is it. I take care of my wife, take care of my family, and stay inside. Take care of the home. I provide everything this home needs by myself, and that is literally all I do, and I'm happy and content to do that. And I turn around and play my video games on either the PlayStation or Xbox on this big TV behind me, big 55-inch TV behind me, or I'm making TikToks. If I don't have to step outside, I am not out there. I have minimal contact with the police. Since I no longer work, I drive my car maybe 3 times a week now. 3 times a week. And that's just to go do my thing. And that's it. I'm there to go do my thing, come home, and that is the end of it. I don't deviate from doing that specific thing 3 times a week. And it's not to go to a job. It's just to go do my personal business that I'm not getting into on this app. But that's my time outside is very limited to avoid any foolishness at all that can happen outside because I have PTSD. So I have learned to minimize my contact with the outside world on purpose. But when you want to invite all these people into your home, hang out with people that you have no business hanging out with, you just doing the wrong thing all the time, these are things that will go wrong in your life. You're gonna have issues. And then these kids, they don't have a conscience because they have never been taught accountability. So like literally, they literally think they can do whatever the hell it is they want. They think they can pick fights. They don't understand use of force when you get into altercation. So they go to jail for assault and battery or felony assault. Sometimes some cases are way worse than that. We're not talking about those crimes on this app, but because they have no restraint. Nobody taught them. Well, they know right from wrong, but like the issue is the fact that they don't really have a conscience and they don't really have anybody besides law enforcement holding them accountable. And this is what you're gonna get. I used to deal with these guys as I used to deal with private security, unarmed, armed, and a correction sergeant. So I went from unarmed officer to armed officer. Then I went to corrections because the whole bodyguarding thing didn't really work out as I intended, right? My original plan was to be a bodyguard. The company didn't really see that potential because they refused to give me the license even though I had the training, for some odd reason, I could not convince that company to do any to give me the like allow me to further my career. So I completely just dropped that job. I said, you know what? If you don't want to help me attain my goals, I'm going to go ahead and quit this job immediately. And I went into correction. So I kept my security career going by choosing another job in the security field. That's how I got into corrections. And then I got promoted to sergeant within 12 months. and then my veterans benefits kicked in, and I no longer needed to work, and that's the end of that. So veterans benefits kicked in. I got married, and that was the how I arrived to where I'm at right now. But anyways, I have dealt with these kids. They're crazy, like insane, and you know what? They can't control themselves because if you tell them anything, they want to use fists before logic, and that's why they're in there. They're I would not feel sorry for an inmate at all. There's a very good reason why they're incarcerated because they use these instead of their brain, or they use something worse. So instead of thinking things out rationally and actually solving the problem in a way that's best for everybody and within the law, they decided to take matters into their own hands and use these or something else, and or did some other kind of crime, and now they're crying. Now they're blaming the police for all their issues. But trust me when I say they put themselves in there. That trust me when I say they 1000% put themselves in there. Don't feel sorry for them clowns. I'm out of here.